Hello, sisters and cousins. This is Esmée Streigalt. I am here to read you Every Woman is a Riot, Louise Bertin by Alison, Tyra. This is a cross post from her book, Uncredited, Women's Overlooked, Misattributed, and Stolen Work. Alison describes the project this way. This book is a collection of stories of hundreds of women, combined with statistics, results of research studies, and anecdotal examples of the key factors that contribute to women not receiving credit for their work and accomplishments. It came out of seeing the same stories told over and over again, but when they're told in isolation, it's easier to dismiss those larger patterns at play. So here's Louise Bertin. She's a composer who collaborated with Victor Hugo to create an operatic version of his book Notre Dame de Paris, which we know in English as The Hunchback of Notre Dame. La Esmeralda is the name of the opera. It featured music by Bertin. It was her fourth opera, and a libretto, the text of the opera by Hugo, adapting his novel, making Bertin the only composer to work directly with Hugo on an opera. But almost as soon as the opera opened in 1836, Bertin was accused of receiving special privileges due to her brother's connection to the government's opera administration, with a riot erupting during the seventh performance. Although the original production was forced to close, a version of it continued to be performed over the following 3 years. Because Bertin had a physical disability that affected her ability to walk or stand for long periods of time, composer Hector Berlioz was hired to run the rehearsals of La Esmeralda, which led to claims he had actually written the music for the opera, which he adamantly denied. Bertin was so frustrated by the whole situation that she never wrote another opera. In this story, Berlioz did the right thing, Hugo did the right thing. Both were massive influences in that era, enough for the novel to save the Cathedral of Notre Dame from being destroyed, to build, if I remember correctly, like apartment buildings on the Central Island in Paris. But here, a bunch of men's politics, right? Napoleon, Hugo, Berlioz, let's see, Dumas, etc. Her family, around these men, around this woman who, other than being connected to these men, didn't have any political power, is being canceled because some people don't like the politics, right? A woman's brother's job and Napoleonic class and race politics, frankly, got her canceled. Dumas did not do the right thing. Dumas famously, American, as they called them in France at the time, an American writer, formerly enslaved man from the Caribbean, who had been, I think, a general in Napoleon's army. They had a bit of a falling out because Dumas was just very good at everything in life and Napoleon was very jealous. But here Dumas is claiming that this woman did not write the opera that she wrote. The music, she did not write the music that she wrote, because he's mad about the larger politics of the new empire in France. So once again, a woman is sort of the collateral object through which men are having their arguments, or men are making their exchanges. I am very aware that to be her in 1836 was to be a woman of considerable class privilege. But misogyny and the methods of patriarchy's enmity toward women are the same across class, across race. Men will go through a woman to get at each other one way or another. I can read you the details of the riot really quickly from the Wikipedia article. So there was some disruption at the premiere as members of the audience who disliked the Bertin family for being connected to Napoleon, apparently, shouted that the work had been written by Berlioz. Berlioz himself denied this accusation and labeled Bertin a writer and musician of considerable distinction and one of the most intelligent women of our time. So, on the vector of, gender discriminations, Berlioz gets a point here for supporting the woman. There were also accusations that it had only been performed at all. Mind you, this is written by Hugo. The novel, the libretto, had only been performed because of her brother's connection to the administration of the Paris Opera and the family's directorship of the influential newspaper Journal des Débats, to which both Hugo and Berlioz were contributors. This led to open disdain by those who opposed the newspaper's political stance. So this is all men arguing about the politics of the country and crushing a woman who has just written probably the best work of her life at that point, because they're all angry with each other. There were hisses and groans, and after one aria, Quasimodo's Air des Cloches, the Song of the Bells, in Act 4, several members of the audience, including Alexandre Dumas, shouted, "It's by Berlioz," just erasing her completely in order to focus being angry at Berlioz for being connected to all of these other people with a lot of power, of which actually Dumas was one. The opera was withdrawn after 6 performances. For the last of these in December of 1636, it had been shortened to 3 acts. It was the final performance. It was then at the final performance in December that a near riot ensued. The anti-Bertin faction shouting, "Down with Bertin! Down with the Journal des Débats! Bring down the curtain!" And they kept it up until the singer Corneille Falcon fled the stage. Apparently she was a woman alone on the stage at that point. She was playing Esmeralda. Fled the stage and the curtain was lowered. It was not raised again until the ballet began. Louise Bertin would never compose another opera, although she lived for another 40 years. And that anger aimed at all of these people seems to have reverberated through the world. Adèle Hugo wrote of the opera's final word, fatalité. So the first fatality really was Louise Bertin's career as a composer. But the next fatality was the suppression of that work, and the singers of which were Monsieur Nourry and Mademoiselle Falcon, a composer, a woman of great talent, the librettist Victor Hugo, and the subject of Notre Dame de Paris, the suppression of all of this. The fatality followed the actors. Mademoiselle Falcon lost her voice. Monsieur Nourry soon after committed suicide in Italy. Weirdly, a ship called Esmeralda, crossing from England to Ireland, not a very great distance, I might point out, was lost, vessel and cargo. And then the Duke of Orleans named a horse of really great value, Esmeralda, and in a steeplechase, steeplechases are fantastically dangerous for horses, but in a steeplechase, that horse died. Somehow her head was broken, which sounds like a really fantastically bad writer doing stupid things, because horses' heads are pretty durable. So, men enacting their politics, in this case through the career of a woman, and in such a way that their anger at each other destroyed other artists connected to the work, even as only performers. Cancellation, cancellation, cancellation. Where did I put my page? Loop, loop, loop. Where did it go? Sorry, I have to go back. I have to go back now. There's a portrait here in the piece, in the post of Louise. Actually, her name is Louis Françoise. And she's lovely. She's dressed in an empire-style dress, little shawl. She's got big-ass pearl earrings on. She's sitting at a piano with a piece of composition, probably hers. There's a fletch of a pen or an arrow holding her bun together on the back of her head. There's a lot going on in this image. You can find also the homepage of Alison Tyra's project, Infinite Women. And there's also a link here to the current project, Women Create International. This is the sister project of Medusa Rising. It is a space for dissident and canceled women artists across political spectra and across the world. So cross cancellations have been known to happen. Also a reminder, women getting published and praised, women getting our flowers. Medusa Rising accepts work all year long. So come over to our submit and subscribe page for the details about how to submit. Reader contributions are welcome, original creations, cross posts from your projects, reprints, all feminist amplification all year long. About once a month, we hope to be publishing a work like this that promotes a completely different project. So bring us your brilliance and let's make those connections. Let's get the consortium and the collaboration and the power flowing amongst us, right? Okay. This has been Esmée Strijkelt. Stay rad, stay witchy. Be good to each other. And let's win. We have a world to win. We have a world to win. Quite literally, we have a world to win. Let us stay on it, rest, hydrate, dance, find things to laugh at, flowers to smell, all that good stuff, because it's going to be a long slog winning that world. Okie dokes. I will see you next time.